I'm Drew.
And I'm Becky.
And for the last 5 months, we've been traveling full-time in our 2019 Ram ProMaster 3500 Extended.
This content is sponsored by Outdoorsy. Through Outdoorsy, you can rent your camper van out to make extra cash, and you can rent a van to try van life before you commit.
We wanted to live in a van because we believe that times of transition bring about the most personal growth, so we've chosen a life of constant transition. While we're on the road, I'm a traveling operating room nurse.
And I'm an electrical engineer turned software developer. Building a van is hard, so we spent a year scouring YouTube, drawing in SketchUp, and talking to anybody we could get a hold of. Everything in a van build is a trade-off.
The first trade-off we faced is having natural light in the van versus being stealth. We knew that we'd spend a lot of time in urban settings because I'd be working in the hospital, so we really wanted our van to look like a work van. So the only window option that gave us is the crew cab window, which is actually the largest window you can put in your van. Then instead of more windows, we put a skylight on the roof. We also have flush mount solar panels, so you can't see them from the ground level. Another way that we maximize the light is painting all of the walls white, and they reflect that light really well.
Cost versus livability is another huge trade-off in a van design. You're faced with decisions like, do you power everything with electric or do you add propane? Do you have a wheel well water tank or a rectangular water tank? What kind of toilet do you buy?
The last trade-off we faced is having livable space versus having storage spaces, and we'll talk about that more when we're in the van.
After a year, we finally had our design. We were so blessed to be able to work with my grandfather, a talented carpenter with a professional wood shop. We spent 4.5 months building all summer of 2020. The ProMaster has so many compartments that makes it really easy to store everything we need day to day while we're on the road, including 6 cup holders and 3 charging ports. In this compartment we store our tools and a flashlight that we use way more often than I ever would have expected. Becky installed this awesome visor mirror that makes it easy for one of us to get ready up here while the other's getting ready in the back. This tray is super handy to store all of our hats, gloves, and sunglasses, and we just grab those as we go. This tray is even bigger and better. We each store 4 jackets or hoodies, and then we can store a lot of our electronics, camera gear, accessories, and the best little van vacuum. Last is our swivel seat, which is an awesome bonus for the van. It really adds a lot more space when we turn it around and makes it easy to host other people, and yet it can just be totally out of the way when it's swiveled back in normal position.
This is our bathroom and shower, which was a complete necessity to me. Our walls are made of plastics polywall panels adhered to plywood with FRP adhesive. It was super easy to work with. You can even cut it with scissors, and we got everything we needed for that at Home Depot. These 2 return walls are made with steel studs, and then we have our Nautilus self-cleaning shower door. Inside of our bathroom we have the Thetford cassette toilet, which is really comfortable to use because it's standard height that you would find in a house, and it has an electric water flush. The only downside about this toilet is that it's pretty heavy when it's full and you go to empty it, but it is so much cheaper than a composting toilet. Over here on the wall, we have our soap dispenser. Anytime that we can avoid having free-flying objects in the van, we go with that option. So it's nice having it mounted there. Our favorite thing in the shower, though, is our low-flow shower head. It has 3 different settings we can choose from: 1.8 gallon per minute, 1, or 0.1. We usually set it at 1, and it's so nice because we don't have to worry about using up all of our water when we take showers. We also have a light in our bathroom. And then up here on the ceiling, we tried to place our fan in a spot that made sense for both the moisture from the shower and stuff from cooking on the cooktop.
Our dinette design is probably the most unique aspect of our build. When we were determining what we wanted our bed and eating area to look like, we considered a fixed bed, which would have given us a massive garage, but limited inside storage while taking up a huge area of the back of our van. We also considered the typical half-fixed bed with a dinette conversion, and really liked the bench storage that would have offered to the inside, but realized that that would really limit our garage storage, including the size of our water tank. With those things in mind, we decided for a half-fixed bed with a raised dinette table. This gave us the best of both worlds. It gave us a huge garage that let us store our electrical system and big water tank, while also giving us a lot of inside storage in what we call our black hole, which is underneath our feet while we sit. The black hole is perfect for storing all the items that we need access to inside of the van, but just don't fit anywhere else. We store our backpacks and some of our larger kitchen appliances, like our Vitamix and our Instant Pot. The doors are held up with gas struts, which make it really easy to access. The one downside to having a dinette conversion is that it adds a van chore. Every day we have to convert from eating mode to bed mode. This is how we do that. The Lagoon table really does make it pretty easy. Just unscrew the tabletop. The table finishes off the surface for our bed.
This is our bed. Our mattress is custom made by Foam Factor with a 4-inch high-density foam base and a 2-inch memory foam topper. It is a queen size in width and 2 inches short in length and is cut in 2 pieces so we can do our convertible bed like Drew showed. We also have this Dometic skylight. It has 2 different screens. One is a blackout and the other is a blue screen. We each have our own wardrobe here, as you can see. I store most of my clothing in packing cubes and everything else I roll to save space. On either side of our bed, we each have a ledge where we keep our books, and we each have a reading light with a built-in phone charger.
Here's that bedside area with the book ledge. We also built in a little laundry chute here that drops into the garage into a laundry basket beneath.
Let's talk about the kitchen in the van. Here we have our 2-burner induction cooktop. It's sitting on top of our Acacia butcher block countertops that we got from Lowe's. They are face grain instead of edge grain, so they're not as durable as something you'd want in a house, but for what we're doing, they're great. We also have these KV brand locking drawer slides. Keep things closed while we're driving, which is great. We use the same ones inside of here as well. We also have our Truck Fridge brand fridge. It fits a week of groceries really well. The only downside is that the freezer is really small, so it doesn't even fit a pint of ice cream, for example. But otherwise, it's been a great fridge, and it comes with mounting hardware since it's meant to be mounted in a cabinet inside of a truck. Up here in this cabinet, we have a little mirror so that somebody else could get ready right here. And then we also have our dishes and random other grocery items. If you've noticed that I'm struggling to open the cabinets, it's because they all have magnet latches on them to keep things closed when we're driving. We also have this little shelf up here for a plant, hand sanitizer, or other random items that we like to have available. And on the wall, I have a magnetic spice rack that I love. And then the last thing in this little workstation area is our trash can that pops in and out. This is the other side of the kitchen. We have another workspace here because we have a cutting board that fits atop of our sink. And then the faucet and the soap dispenser both rotate out of the way. We do have a very large sink here. It's 15 by 19 in stainless steel. I love the size of it, but there is a downside because of how deep and long that it is. We have 2 drawers here that we can't use. Storage wise for our kitchen, we have these 2 overhead cabinets where I keep all of the extra spices and flour and other things. We have a ratcheted paper towel holder here, and everything that comes out of our faucet goes through a 4-stage filter underneath, so everything is drinking water that comes out. Underneath here, we have our water heater, as well as the accumulator and that filter that I talked about. The drain pipe under our sink is flexible so that we could put the drain hole for the sink in a spot that was convenient for the van structure.
We love our garage setup. On this side, we have a 32-gallon wheel well water tank. It absolutely maximizes space, though it is more expensive than a rectangular water tank would have been. On the other side, we have as compact of an electrical system as I possibly could build. I'll talk more about our electrical system later. We supported our bed with angle iron. It is rock solid. We don't have to think about that or notice anything when we're getting on and off of our bed. And lastly, here is our dirty clothes bin. Just as Becky described from up on the bed, we drop our dirty laundry right through that hole, and it makes it so easy when we get to the laundromat.
Let me talk you through our plumbing. First, the water goes through our drinking water hose. Then it goes into the RV water filter into our 32-gallon freshwater tank. It leaves the freshwater tank through silencer tubing and enters into the strainer before going in the pump. After the pump, it goes through more silencer tubing into the other side where the sink cabinet is. Inside of our sink cabinet, we have a shut-off valve, the accumulator, the water filter, and the hot water heater. We plumbed everything with PEX, and we kept our sink and our shower and all of this on one side to keep things simple. When the water drains from the sink and the shower, it goes underneath the van into two 13-gallon gray water tanks. We ended up with 2 tanks because we needed to place them in spots where they fit well underneath the van.
Our electrical system was without a doubt my proudest accomplishment of our van build. We were set against propane, so that meant that we needed to build a robust, powerful electrical setup. At the core is 3 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battle-born batteries. We charge those in 2 ways. First, with a 60 amp Renogy DC to DC charger that provides so much power when we're driving a lot. When we're not driving as much, we rely more heavily on our 400 watts of solar that run through our Victron charge controller. Our van includes 3 AC loads, including our cooktop, our hot water heater, and our outlet. Those are all run on our 2500 watt inverter. They can't quite all run simultaneously, but as long as our hot water heater doesn't turn on unexpectedly, we can run any 2 of those at once. Our DC loads include our lights, our USB outlets, our refrigerator, and our max fan, among other things. That is so much easier on the electrical system and hasn't provided any issue at all.
We have advice for 2 groups of people. If you're somebody that's just thinking about starting the van life, we would really recommend renting a van. We did this for 4 days actually, just to see what it felt like and sleep at Walmart and all that good stuff. We had friends that did the exact same thing, and after their experience decided not to do the van life. It just didn't suit their personalities and they really didn't like it.
For those of you already working on your build, our best advice is to make everything as accessible as possible. The most important things to keep access to are your electrical system and your plumbing. We learned the hard way when faced with an unexpected freeze, and we literally had to cut a hole in our shower wall to access our mixer valve, which was leaking. Speaking of showers, we've learned that a lot of people don't use the shower that they install. This couldn't be further from the truth for us, but we think we know why. We believe that most people who don't use their shower either don't have a big enough water tank to supply that shower or not enough gray water tanks to hold that water. And so, because of how scarce their water is, they're afraid to use their shower. So if you're going to build a shower, make sure you have plenty of white water and large enough gray water tanks. Thanks for checking out our van, and thanks to Nate for letting us show it off.
If you want to follow our travels, follow Becky Bidlin on Instagram. If you want to learn more about our van, go to onekeylife.blog.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.